Hello everyone, welcome back. As in the previous lectures, we have completed the first component of a typical cell, which is the plasma membrane, and we studied the complete concept of the plasma membrane. Today in this session, we are going to start with the next component of the typical cell, which is the nucleus. So let's start with the today's session. So what is nucleus? Nucleus is the largest and autonomous organelle of the eukaryotic cell. So students, I am using here the two words. One is the largest and second one is the autonomous. So largest and autonomous cell organelles in eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell, in our previous classes we have discussed that in the eukaryotic cell there is present a well defined nucleus. So nucleus is the largest and autonomous cell organelle. So autonomous means which have its own control, or you can say which control all the activities, and that's why nucleus also have another name, and that name is that nucleus is called the master or brain of the cell. Nucleus is called the master or the brain of the cell because it directs and controls all the activities of a cell. Again I am repeating, it is called the brain of the cell because it directs and controls all the cellular activities. Cellular activity means the activities of a cell. And for the first time, scientist Robert Brown discovered the nucleus. So for the first time, who discovered nucleus? Robert Brown. And after Robert Brown, there is another scientist named Fleming. He stained the nucleus. उसने nucleus को stain किया. Stain means color provide करना. Then how he provide the color? He provide, or you can say he stained the nucleus with the basic dye. And then Fleming, after dealing it with the basic dye, named the term chromatin. So Fleming, how can we write it? Fleming, after staining the nucleus with dye and named it as chromatin. Okay, so this was all about the basic concept of the nucleus. Okay, now if we talk about the position that where is nucleus present, so let's study about the position of the nucleus. So students, in the mature plant cell, and plant cell, the structure of the plant cell, in your previous class you have studied the diagram or the structure of the plant cell, in which you find out that as this is the, I am drawing just a simple diagram of the plant cell. This is the cell wall as we have discussed in our previous class also. So in the center there is present a large vacuole. That's why in case of the plant cell, nucleus lie at one corner, or you can say nucleus lies at periphery or at one side. So in a mature plant cell, nucleus is called eccentric. Eccentric means it lies at one corner. So if we talk about the mature plant cell, Then in case of mature plant cell, it lies at one corner, so that's why it is eccentric. Eccentric means lies at one corner. Okay, and the next one is, if we talk about the younger plant cell and the animal cell, then in animal cell and in the young plant cell, nucleus lies in center, and that's why in the young plant cell and in the animal cell, nucleus is centric in position. So young plant cell and animal cell, it is centric in position. Centric word stands for center. Okay, so this was the position of the nucleus. So let's talk about the occurrence, that how nucleus occurs. Occur means here I am just talking about the covering. So on the basis of the covering, if we talk about the occurrence of the nucleus, then in case of the prokaryotic cells means like the bacteria and blue-green algae, nucleus is without any membrane, without any covering, or you can say without any membrane. But if we talk about the eukaryotic cell, plant cell and animal cell, then in eukaryotic cell it is double layered. It is double layered in case of eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell where the nucleus is well defined, that is in the plant cell and animal cell. Okay, so this was the occurrence on the basis of their membrane or the covering. So let's talk about the number of nucleus. So next is the number of nucleus. So students, if we talk about the number of nucleus, the number of the nucleus, it varies in different organism. Okay, means some organism they have one nucleus, and the organism which have one nucleus, they are called the uninucleate or monokaryotic. Uni means single, nucleate word stands for the nucleus, and in the similar way mono means single and karyon word here stands for the nucleus. So they have single nucleus. For example, the plant cell and animal cell. But in some organism there are present more than one, means there are present two nucleus, and the organism which have two nucleus, in that condition nucleus is said to be known as the binucleate or dikaryotic. Okay, binucleate or the dikaryotic, for example amoeba. Is that clear? Now the next one is multinucleated, multikaryon or if we talk about the cell which have number of nucleus, then that type of cell is known as the senocytic cell. Senocytic cell is the cell which have number of nucleus. Okay, so firstly what we have discussed, the common features in which we have discussed the position, the occurrence on the basis of the membrane, then the number of nuclei, and now what is the shape. So if we talk about the shape of the nucleus, so next point is the shape. So shape of nucleus is either oval or spherical. Okay, oval in this way, somewhat flat, and spherical which is completely rounded. Okay, so nucleus is either oval or spherical in shape. Now let us start with the structure of the nucleus. As I told you that nucleus is oval or spherical in shape. Now let's draw the diagram. So as I am saying that it is spherical or oval in shape. So in this way you can easily draw it. And also we have studied that nucleus क्या होता है. If we talk about the nucleus, then nucleus is double layered or double membrane cell organelle. Okay, so it is spherical. So how it is double walled? In this way. It is double walled. So you have to draw it, and it is ruptured at some points, and where it is ruptured, then I will tell you what is present there. Where the membrane is ruptured, simply where the membrane is ruptured, there are present nucleus pores. So in this way you have to draw the membrane. So in this way students, you have to draw the membrane that nucleus is double layered. In this way I have, you can see here, in this way I have drawn here. At some point it is, you can say it is further divided, and this part where it is divided, this part is called the ER. ER here stands for endoplasmic reticulum. So first one is, this is the, if we talk about, now I am going to tell you that a nucleus mainly comprises 4 components. The first component is the nuclear membrane. The second one is the nucleoplasm. The third one is the nucleolus. And the fourth one is the chromatin fiber. So if we talk about the nucleus, as I have drawn here, that nucleus is spherical in shape and double layered. That's why I have drawn it as the double layer. So this one is the outer layer. Outer envelope Okay, and this one is the inner layer. Layer or envelope, you can use any word. And in this way, what you will find that there is a space, this space in between the two membrane, and this space it lie also here. Okay, this is the space, and this space is known as the perinuclear space. Perinuclear space. And all these three components, they form the nuclear envelope. So I am again labeling it as the nuclear envelope or the nuclear membrane, which is the first component. Okay, and the next one is, this nucleus is filled with the fluid. In this way, there is present a colorless, dense, transparent fluid, and this fluid, which is colorless, dense and transparent, this fluid is known as the nucleoplasm. So please try to label it. Label the diagram at one side. So this portion is known as the nucleoplasm. So this is the nucleoplasm, which is the second component. And in the center there is present a small rounded structure which is known as the nucleolus. So this is the nucleolus, and this nucleolus is the third part. One by one I will explain you each and every part. So just I am drawing here, and in the fourth part, as I have written here, is the chromatin fiber or chromatin network. So in this way, this is the network part, and this network part is known as the chromatin fiber. Okay, so this is the fourth component. So again, this one is the first component, this one is the second component, this is the third, and this one is the fourth component, and this is the complete diagram of a nucleus. Okay, and now let's start one by one the explanation of the each part. So first part is the nuclear membrane. So nuclear membrane is the outer covering of the nucleus. तो nuclear membrane क्या होती है? It is two in number. One is the outer membrane and one is the inner membrane. In between two membrane there is present space which is called the perinuclear space. And what is the function of this membrane? This membrane, you can say this is the nucleus, and you know, if we talk about a simple cell, then where is nucleus lie? This is a suppose simple cell, and in the simple cell nucleus lie. तो membrane क्या करती है? This is a nuclear membrane. तो nuclear membrane क्या करती है? ये nucleus को cytoplasm से क्या करती है? Separate करती है. Okay, so it separates the nucleus from the cytoplasm. So if we talk about the function, तो ये क्या करती है? Exchange of material करती है between the cytoplasm and the nucleus of the cell. So this was all about the first component. Now let's start with the second, which is the nucleoplasm. This complete portion is the nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm क्या होता है? It is a dense, colorless and transparent fluid which is present in the nucleus. और nucleoplasm के अंदर students you can observe here nucleolus and chromatin fiber both lie in the nucleoplasm and it is made up of DNA, ribosomes and proteins. Okay, if we talk about the function of the nucleoplasm, the nucleoplasm act as the nuclear skeleton. Nuclear skeleton, how? Because it determines the shape of the nucleus. So that's why nucleoplasm acts as the nuclear skeleton, as it determines the shape of the nucleus. And the next one is it helps in the formation of proteins, DNA and RNA. DNA and RNA क्या होती है स्टूडेंट्स? These are the hereditary material which are transferred from generation to generation. Okay, so this was all about the nucleoplasm, which is the second component. Now if we talk about the third component, which is the nucleolus, so as you can see in the center of the nucleus there lies a circular structure, and this circular structure is called the nucleolus. And in the nucleolus there are present ribosomes. Okay, there is present ribosomes, and that's why function of the nucleolus is to form the protein. And also you can say कि जो nucleolus होता है it contains ribosomes, and function of that ribosome is in the formation of protein. So next is the chromatin fiber, very important part of the nucleus. तो chromatin fiber क्या होता है? These are the chromatin, these thread like structure which are darkly stained, dark color के जो होती हैं, these are called the chromatin फाइबर. और क्रोमेटिन फाइबर क्या होती हैं? ये ड्यूरिंग सेल डिवीजन के बाद क्या होती हैं? ये क्रोमेटिन फाइबर जो होती हैं स्टूडेंट्स, ये कंडेंस हो जाती हैं. कंडेंस मीन्स दे जॉइंस in this way, they joins and joins to form the chromosome. So this is the chromosome. Again I am repeating that chromatin fiber students क्या करते हैं? These are darkly stained, okay, and they are present functional in the non-dividing state. But when the cell start dividing, तो fibers ये जो threads होती हैं they join to form the chromosomes. अब ये chromosomes ही क्या होती हैं? तो first time chromosome को observe किसने किया था? Chromosome was observed by the Waldeyer in 1888. ओके, तो वाल्डेयर ने ऑब्जर्व किया था एंड ही स्टेट द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द क्रोमोसोम. तो उसने क्या बताया? क्रोमोसोम्स जो होता है दीज आर कॉल्ड द सिस्टर क्रोमेटिड्स. Chromosome is made up of sister chromatids, and these sister chromatids they are joined at a center, and this point of joining, or you can say where the two chromatids they join, this point is called centromere. Is that clear? So chromosome was first discovered by the Waldeyer. क्रोमोसोम कैसे बनती हैं? जब क्रोमेटिन फाइबर कंडेंस होती हैं, तो कंडेंस मीन्स जब वो ज्वाइन करते हैं सेल डिवीजन से, देन दे फॉर्म द क्रोमोसोम्स. एंड इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द क्रोमोसोम, देन इन द ह्यूमन बीइंग देयर आर प्रेजेंट 23 pairs of chromosome. 23 pairs of chromosome means they are 46 in number. Okay, so chromosomes क्या होती हैं? और क्रोमोसोम किससे बने होते हैं स्टूडेंट? क्रोमोसोम्स, इफ वी स्टडी अबाउट द क्रोमोसोम्स, देन क्रोमोसोम्स आर मेड अप ऑफ डीएनए एंड प्रोटीन। अब डीएनए का जो फंक्शनल पार्ट होता है, स्मॉल फ्रेगमेंट ऑफ डीएनए, तो फंक्शनल पार्ट को हम क्या कहते हैं? जीन्स। और ये जीन्स क्या करते हैं? जीन्स आर ट्रांसफर फ्रॉम जनरेशन टू जनरेशन। हम कहते हैं कि पेरेंट्स से जो प्रोजेनी होती है, प्रोजेनी में जो नेक्स्ट जनरेशन आती है, तो नेक्स्ट जनरेशन में क्या होता है? कैरेक्टर्स का ट्रांसफर होता है। तो कैरेक्टर्स का नहीं स्टूडेंट्स, क्या होता है? फ्रेगमेंट ऑफ डीएनए का ट्रांसफर होता है, एंड दोज फ्रेगमेंट्स ऑफ डीएनए आर नोन एज द जीन्स। और जीन्स को हम और क्या कहते हैं? जीन्स आर नोन एज द हेरिडिटरी व्हीकल्स। Okay, so genes are known as the hereditary vehicle. So this was all about the concept of the nucleus. Okay, so again take a recap. Today we have discussed the second component of the typical cell, which is the nucleus, in which we have discussed about position, number, shape and its structure. Thank you so much.